following interview was conducted with Melissa Carty Hines as part of the Clinch Coalition's 25th Anniversary Oral History Project. The interview team includes Sam Shackelford and Austin Penley. This interview took place at UVA Wise in Smiddy Hall, room 104 on October 15th, 2022. And so I was just going to ask about your experiences with the Clinch Coalition during the COVID-19 pandemic.
First of all, I would like to say, as much as I would appreciate it, my middle name isn't Party. It's Carty, actually. It's C-A-R-T-Y. But I do appreciate that you wrote Party. It makes me sound more interesting. So I joined the coalition back in 2017 when I first moved to Virginia. Fell in love with the place, went to the rally, joined. And I was the acting program director, and I like to say acting because I really didn't take a great part in, I don't believe what our current program director does. So 2019, I would say, was not exactly when we had our biggest problems. We were still meeting when, I want to think it was February of 2020 is when I think Virginia literally shut down. We had our monthly board meetings up until then, and then we found ourselves in a position to where we were unclear of what to do. Typically, most of what I did was webinars online, attending them, not actually conducting them. So when the world shut down, we had to scramble to find ways to meet each other. We did Zoom, but I don't believe Zoom was the first thing. I want to think we tried Skype first because we were not technologically inclined at the time. We did everything in person. So I believe that we started having our Zoom meetings in March or April, so we did miss a couple months, and then we are getting together, trying to figure out our yearly events, which would be, we did a art and essay contest for the students, Wise County, which we were not able to actually, I don't believe we completed that because the students were out of school. We were not able to give out awards until, I want to think, the fall of that year, when typically we did Earth Day, when we handed out our awards. Since then, I don't believe we have picked that program back up, but we had done it for several years due to the pandemic and not being able to communicate. So we did our rally. It was a frightening time for us, and you wouldn't think so, but it really was a frightening time for us because we have done, that was our, this year was our 16th annual, so we didn't want to stop having our rallies. What do? Do you stop? Do you say we're not going to do it anymore? So what we did was kind of just had a brainstorming meeting where we said, well, what are we going to do? We're just not going to do it this year. Well, no, that wasn't an option, but we've always done it. So myself and one of our board members, Austin Counts, decided that we would try to do this in a Facebook share type something, YouTube, all the different things we could think of to put it on. So we had our wonderful presenters record their hikes, which we typically do in person. And I say scramble because it, like the day before, we were actually downloading these, trying to get them done. So that was hard for us. But we got, I think we pulled it off rather well, and it was very successful, surprisingly, that so many people came online. And then Zoom just became a commonplace for us. And still in 2022, even last month, we still have Zoom meetings because we have not met in person yet. Clinch Coalition is very, our members are very cautious about the pandemic. And even though it is mostly, according to most people, mostly gone from the area, we still are very protective of our members, and we do not want to do anything to cause harm. So we are not meeting in person. But the pandemic also, with our holiday gathering, we figured out a way to do that online as well. We had everyone come and we did our little normal auctions like we normally do, even though it wasn't in person. And then this last year, we were fortunate enough to hire a program director who had a successive massive knowledge in social media, Jayla Tyler. I took my role as development director, which is where I would rather be in fundraising, and it felt like this year went a lot better. That although it was still on Facebook and YouTube, social medias, I do believe we got involved with Instagram as well, but that is mostly what we did, you know. Pandemic was something that came up and it stopped the world, but it didn't stop us. So.
Did you get a sense of how many people ended up attending online?
Actually, yes, because yearly I would do the like a report from the rally, and we broke down everything from ages to how many children are involved, and so although I couldn't do that online the very first year, we did. I was able to show on, especially Facebook was the best, and YouTube, of course. When we would boost them, we would boost our videos. We were able to show that this many people viewed our video on Facebook, this many people viewed our video on YouTube, because they always show this many views. And you had this many likes and dislikes and questions. We were surprising that some of our videos, I think Steve talked about the hemlocks. We had a video on the Eastern hemlocks and it went viral. So we had, and Wayne Browning did a video on the geology of High Knob, or was it something like that, and it was thousands viewed it. So but the other one, the hemlock one, it was just viral. We had so many questions and so many things come in and discussions, and people are very interested, and we got a lot of subscribers on YouTube, which is something we're not used to, because we had a YouTube channel, we never used it, but then when it came to it, our board members, very active board members, stepped up to the plate, and they did what they had to keep the coalition going. I talk a lot. What do you want to? Is anything else you want to ask me? I kind of answer everything. My apologies.
Is there anything else you'd like to share, expand upon in relation to some of the challenges that you faced during the pandemic and kind of going into the future?
I would say our biggest challenge was just not knowing what to do. Although this world is social media based already, the coalition was not. Our members are typically older members, and we weren't that. I know myself personally, Instagram I'm not really good with, but so, that was something that my child is telling me, that Mom, Instagram is already a thing of the past now. We do this, and I'm like, well, I haven't gotten there yet. So most of our members were kind of like that. We were, oh, well, Facebook's the big thing. Not really, because it was already past. But for us, it was kind of our best route, and YouTube was a big success. And when we figured out how we were going to do that, but a big thing for us, our biggest challenge, honestly for me, was not knowing how to download and upload and make sure this is going on. And then when we did our scheduling on Facebook and Facebook Lives and things like that, are things that I didn't really know existed. So that was big challenges it was a learning curve for us. Things that we had never had to do, even though it was very commonplace for, I would say, a younger generation. We just weren't there yet. But now that we are, it's a great tool for us to reach out. We've got people, we have always had people that come to the rally from, I would say, distant lands, if you would. I know when we have people write down what states they're from when they come to the rally, and information, so we can contact them and send them information if need be. And I know that the last year that I wrote that out, we had people from Washington State and North Carolina, Tennessee. We have people coming, and they come in for our Hellbender race too. So if they're in maybe a week early, they can come and do our rally, and then they can run the Hellbender, which is a very successful race that we have. People come from all over just to come to that. So yeah, mostly with me, I do a lot of the events. And that's really what I enjoy.
So to follow up upon that, do you think that'll change the dynamics of how the organization functions for the future? This more intertwined kind of digital relationship with the organization,
I believe so. We did the rally 2 years digitally, and we thought we were going to, last year we were so hopeful to have it in person, but then there was another wave of COVID, so we were forced to push back and quickly scramble and get our videos together and do everything virtually. But this year, our goal was, and I believe we did that, we put some videos online, and we also met in person. So we're trying to do it more of a hybrid now, because I had several comments, which was something you don't think of, because we are disability friendly, and where we have our rally to where you can see everything, and you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to do the hikes, you can come and talk to our community partners there. So, but I have a couple members that are disabled, and they were so thankful for having our hikes to where they'd never been able to go on a hike before, and they'd always wanted to, and that was something that they could experience and not have to be able to, per se. Because I know I myself, I've never taken the hikes because I am not able to hike through as much as I would love to. And I was just amazed by our first year videos from our wonderful participants.
Thank you so much.
Okay.